Final thoughts about the Whitehorse Community Asset Mapping Project includes a reflection on contemporary pedagogy and led me to title this reflection "In Defense of Being Dangerous." I choose to be dangerous. While working to deepen my own understanding of community asset mapping, I stumbled upon mapping empathy. It involved creating a class empathy map, which was then followed by a school-wide empathy mapping process. The importance of this exploration cannot be overemphasized because empathy and compassion contribute to the creation of an environment beneficial for learning and overall physical and mental well-being. Empathy mapping really set the stage for the community asset mapping. Refusing to separate politics from pedagogy means that teaching should not simply honor the experiences people bring to such sites, but should also connect experiences to problems that come from everyday life. This view of pedagogy does not mold, but inspires, directs, and is capable of imagining a better world and the need to reimagine a democracy that is never finished. That's where taking a look at a needs-based approach versus an assets-based approach became crucial. From a needs-based way of thinking, San Juan County is the poorest county in Utah and one of the 30 poorest in the United States. Needs-based thinking is endemic and is the predominating approach to charitable and institutional work in the region. So when introduced to an assets-based approach, student councils, scholars, and other stakeholders recognize the more hopeful, positive aspects of an assets-based approach and have committed to its application in the mapping process. Anyone can be a hero anytime an opportunity arises to stand up for what is right and just and to speak out against injustice, corruption, and other evils. With that said, I humbly present my heroes. Whitehorse Student Council co-teachers are amazing. They led the initial empathy mapping process and quickly took it into reaching out to others on the individual asset mapping process while simultaneously developing the visual map of this project. Once they had mapped about 150 of their peers, They were able to break this information into categories of strengths. Examples are artistic creative, willing to share knowledge, motivates others. They continued their work on an expanding visual map, which went from the single figure prototype to a male and female pair, along with other protection figures that are included on other canvases. They also have taken the mapping process outside of the Whitehorse High School walls, mapping individuals, for example, pictured here at the Anna Justice Day. In evaluating the entire process, some thoughts about where we are currently with the Community Asset Mapping Project. Highly effective. I can't say enough about the Student Council's co-teachers. Their implementation throughout the project has been fabulous. The visual map itself is impactful. I believe we are in the effective range in the mapping process because we currently are at 72% of the entire Whitehorse school community being mapped, and that's within the school walls. But we've also seen strong initial response from the wider community beyond the school. From an emerging effective perspective, buy-in from scholars recently engaged in the process is increasing, as well as Whitehorse staff coming on board with the project. Also, the flexibility shown by the co-teachers has resulted in a revision of the visual map into a much more expanded visual piece. From a minimally effective viewpoint, because culturally appropriate imagery was used, it also means that it has to be put away during the non-storytelling season. And truly, I don't believe we will fully know the impact of mapping for perhaps even several years. Finally, I provided references that helped with my reflection on contemporary pedagogy. I thank you for joining me in my journey with the Whitehorse Community Asset Mapping Project and for sharing in defense of being dangerous.